Yes, sir. You already know what time it is, D.
Hey man, say man.
And hopefully today, we can really shed some insights on a lot of different things, because a lot of times when I come on here, I can't really see the preview. So I'm like, are we live?
We live at
I don't want to
5.
just be on here talking to myself. That's Country Cowboy right there. We got a great show today. D, you got anything to say to him before we get right into the show?
Sock it to my pocket.
I came up from nothing. Started from the bottom. I see it with a clear eye. So I hustle.
Mama's house to Penthouse. Yeah.
All right, we back in the mix. Man. Let me tell you something. We was talking about this earlier today. Do you know I accidentally proposed one time?
Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah.
You told me today.
Nah, because you had that jewelry box. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure we good, though, because this will happen sometimes. And people be hitting us. Bro, it's frozen. It happens, you know.
I don't want to be frozen.
It's part of the game. Let's get back.
And I know they want to hear about the time you almost proposed. What the hell?
No. It's
How you almost proposed?
No,
What kind of janky stuff is
so
this?
you had the jewelry box. The jewelry box that you had, and it looked like the box with a proposal ring. This right here. It's perfect, actually. So this is like the jewelry box. It looked like the proposal box that stuff comes in. And so I'm sitting there in the car, I'm chilling, talking, and I guess it was we was going through something. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I really fuck with you, and it's just a lot. I know we've been through a lot. I know we had our ups and downs, and I was holding the box. I was just kind of fidgeting with the box.
Right.
So I look over, and her face is like in disbelief. She has the, oh my God, is this really happening face? And I looked at her. I looked at the box. I looked at her. It was like, I'm so sorry.
Now you got to do it.
Damn. I was like, I'm so sorry.
I'm like,
yeah, you can hear the sound effects. But my real thought was, and that's just because I was young at the time. I wasn't saying nothing. Make sure y'all like this video because we got a great
send it out. We're
gonna be talking about some good stuff today. DJ's got a great question today that's really gonna help you be successful. If you master this one mindset, I promise, what we about to talk about today, you're gonna be able to master everything.
So
we got the in crowd in the building. Shout out to my boy, the world's most hated everything. And then also shout out to all our subscribers and all our supporters. You can see them popping up at the bottom right now. All the subscribers who subscribe. You want to get your name down there, all you got to do is subscribe. It's going to pop up too. You're going to get notifications. If y'all want to support the channel, you know what it is. Will said you knew I was toxic. That was not toxic. I did not do that.
I'm saying, was she mad at you?
You know what I liked? She was a good sport about that.
Okay.
She actually, laughed.
Because she could genuinely tell that you wasn't.
I wasn't. Come on, man. I'm not. You don't play with women like that.
Yeah, nah.
That's the type of shit to get you killed or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna play with nobody's emotions like that. But yeah. So today we talking about some good concepts and stuff like that. How you feeling before we get into it though?
Hey man, it's lit. I see at the bottom of the subscribers, man. That's pretty live. That's live. I see one of my cousins. I see my aunt.
Is it skipping like that on yours? I want to make sure the stream is good before we continue.
And that's lit. Can we hear the sound effects?
Yeah, you can.
I want to hear. I wanted to see if I could hear it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. We in the stew. I'm feeling.
Valencia say, did she cry? She didn't cry. Like I say, she was a good sport about it. She really just was on some shit like, you kind of played me.
Will say you toxic.
But man, Will, the most toxic.
The most.
He did some shit on here last week, and I was like, damn. When you see Will in the chat, all I think. Sound effect right there. That's all I think when I see Will in the chat.
It's live TV, baby.
Yeah. It's glitchy. Okay, I think we back now. We should be good.
Shack attack.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and start getting into this one?
Yes, sir.
So let's go ahead and start our Mama's House Mail.
Hey.
We got Mama's House Mail popping up on the screen right now.
So we got a message today. Somebody actually DM'd the page and was like, what's the most important skill to master in order to be a successful entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. I got the music on. I know you can't really hear it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I want to feel it. I like. So okay. So like I think that's the same thing that the sound man tries to tell me at the club. I try to get the house speakers when I'm in the.
You want them loud so you can hear them, but
you have to feel it.
When you hear the playback, you'll be like, "Damn, it's echoing." But
right, and that's what he say, like the feedback. Yeah. So it's like it is a thing sound wise, guys. You got to be in the game.
Yeah, no, they can hear
the headphones.
They can hear it like a motherfucker. We can start hooking up the headphones and shit like that. Let's just do that. Because let's do it the right way. I was trying to get a certain vibe. I had a vision, but if I want the best experience for y'all, I got to do it that way. But let's talk about our question really quickly today, which is, what's the number one skill to master? And the reason we selected this question today specifically, because I know you wanted to talk about this.
Oh, man, come on.
You've been wanting to talk about this. It's like one of them things that for most people, if you master what we're about to talk about today, then you really got the game on lock. So you want to go ahead and get into it, D, first, before we start talking about some of the things you need to master, or really what changed from this skill as far as mastering success in entrepreneurship?
One of the most important skills to master in order to be a successful entrepreneurship, awareness.
Ooh, that's self-awareness.
Self-awareness, number one. Just we can go down the list. I know.
I just want to. Self-awareness. I just want y'all to know how important that shit is. So that's why I said that. I did that. Make sure y'all like the video too.
Send this out. Send this out. This one finna hit. This one gonna hit home. This one gonna hit real good. This one needs to be heard. We ain't live streaming for no reason. Make sure you send this one out. Self-awareness. Just understanding, like, all right, who self is. Yeah. And understanding, like, all right, I will do this and I will not do that. Yeah. I will participate in this. I will not participate in that. And the quicker you can figure that out about self, the quicker life will be easier. Because then anything that you jump into, business-wise, relationship-wise, sports-wise, you can go on and on down the list. If you know self, as soon as self get into some shit,
self gonna handle some shit the right way.
Self gonna handle it, and that's really granted, awareness can happen at any age. That's why awareness can happen at any age. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. It's more so about just tapping into it, so that way you can be aware of like everything, of anything.
I think the biggest thing I've seen is it's your self concept. Right. I think that's the biggest thing. I've had people come up to me all the time because I'll tell y'all something. Honestly, when you go into any profession, people are going to always ask, what's the strategies? What's the 7 tips? And those videos do really well. We do those videos sometimes, 5 reasons or 5 ways. Those do really well. And the reason they do well, because we all want some type of strategy. But I always tell people, once you get a certain level of self-awareness and you understand how to raise your self-concept, your concept of yourself, then what happens is you'll know how to act in any situation. I'm going to give y'all a prime example of this. Mm-hmm. If you see yourself or you see your time as valuable, D, I'm going to pose this question to you. Mm-hmm. I know you're a man who sees his time as valuable.
Absolutely.
So if somebody starts wasting your time, what's the right thing to do?
Immediately, you got a jet. And I'm like Jimmy Neutron in this bitch. Gotta blast. And every time, because I understand self. Every time somebody do something, I'm so cold with self now. I know me. I know me like the back of my hand. You could be saying something, and just because you said this, I'm already knowing like that you might be capable of doing this. So I'm self gone. I'm out this bitch. Got a blast.
No, it's the truth though. And I think that's the biggest thing we should talk about. How do we get that level of self-awareness? Today, we'll talk about how to master that and what some of the steps to go through. Because I believe if you master this, it really is a skill that changes to everything else. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about it from something I've talked about before, which is the 6 neurological levels, right? And what we want to have is what we call an identity level change. Yeah. Now, most people, we've been told all our lives, our identity is what it is.
That's not true.
You grew up a certain way. That's who it is. That's who you're going to be. You can't change that. And I'll tell you, that's some shit I thought for the longest.
Yeah, me too. I remember thinking, like, for sure thinking, like, because of the way I talk.
Because you came from the hood.
Right. People wouldn't, like, fuck with it. I thought that it had to be a certain type of way. Yeah. I even used to think everybody had to fuck with it. Yeah. You know that? You remember, like, damn, everybody got to fuck with me?
Nah,
that ain't even how it is.
Saying that, thinking like to be successful, he's like, man, every person has to believe in it. Every person has to buy it. And that's really not the case. But the breakdown comes down like this. There's this thing called the 6 neurological levels. You can look it up. It's by this guy named Robert Dilts. What he talked about is basically these 6 neurological levels of how your personality kind of forms. Now, if you want to get very technical about this, there's a process called socialization, which is the process by which we all adopt the cultural norms and beliefs of everybody around you, which means your religion is probably the religion because your mom and your dad or your friends, your family, things of that nature. Now, if you're not that, that's great. You're a beast because a lot of people just tend to fall in and go with the flow of the people around them. But the 6 neurological levels talk about how our personality forms. So at the top, you got environment. Environment is the surface level factor, right? You're going to probably find yourself in certain environments based on your personality. And I'm going to break this down so you're going to see what I'm talking about. You go one layer deeper than that, you have your behaviors. So your behaviors are the things you do. So if you're out there shooting dice, if you're out there fighting, it's probably because you have something lower than that, your capabilities, what you believe you're capable of. You know, you see people all the time, they'll be like, I'm not going to do certain things because I could never do something like that. I could never get on there and speak. Well, that's your limitation in your mind, so that's your capability.
That's it.
So you're going to find yourself, you're not going to be doing the behaviors of the thing that you don't think you're capable of.
You're going to stray away just like natural, like how I was just saying. Once you know self, motherfucker get to talking about you got to go speak somewhere, you just probably not going to go.
Because you don't think you got that capability.
Right.
And that makes a lot of sense, which means you're not going to be in a public speaking environment. So you see how the levels stack on top of each other.
Right.
So if you go a little bit deeper than capabilities, you start getting into your beliefs. And your beliefs have to do with more like things you think about yourself. I would say your assumptions. So once again, don't believe I can speak means I don't have the capability, which means I'm not going to perform the behaviors, which means I'm not going to find myself in those environments.
Right.
It's very simple, and it's crazy that it works like this. But if we go one layer deeper, we get to the identity layer. And a lot of people think identity is something that can't be changed. So a lot of it is assumption. I am this type of person. I am a public speaker. I am a businessman. I am an entrepreneur. The reason they teach you this is because if you can have a change at this level, all the layers above it will automatically change.
Yep, they'll shift.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. If you say I'm a hood nigga, right?
Right.
Where you gonna be? What environment you gonna be in, D?
Now you have to go to you got to go to the trap environments. You got to get to wherever shit. I don't know where they at no more.
I don't know where they at no more. No,
Wherever they at, they over wherever they at. But you got to do your dissertations and, find out where they at. And then you got to go dress like it. You got to go, you know what I'm saying? You got to do whatever you can to absorb the world. And then anything that doesn't have anything to do with hood shit, you can't go.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna live your life based on those criterias, right? So you're gonna live your life based on, okay, since I'm hood, I'm gonna be in the environments where the shit is happening. But if you had an identity level change, automatically this is
not going.
We saw Valencia. We going back and forth. I'm monitoring it right now. So appreciate you though. But if you're in a certain environment, or what I'm saying is basically if you feel a certain way about yourself, you're gonna automatically find yourself in those environments. However, if you change your identity, you're gonna automatically stop going in those environments.
Yeah. Yeah.
You truly have a deep identity level change. Now there's a level lower than that. A lot of people, he said, y'all know where they at. I don't know where the hood activities at no more. I don't.
Outside.
Come on, you know where they at. I know where they at.
I don't know. I know where they at, but I don't know where they at.
You know where they at.
Where they
You
at?
just ain't going there.
Man, I can't even think.
Yeah, but it would be out of line to say that on the podcast.
I can't think of nothing.
Yeah, but they right on. Nah, I ain't doing that shit. But so at the lowest level, you have what's called a spiritual awakening or spiritual level, and it automatically changes people's life. This is like when people have near-death experiences.
Right.
And I had something like this when I always talk about having a dream from sleeping on the floor. I had a situation like that. But I think that's the biggest thing that we got to observe when it comes to self-awareness is how do we have an identity level change? And that's what I really want to talk about today, D.
Yeah.
How do we start having an identity level change where no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we know what to do?
I think a lot of times, unfortunately, we wait until like some shit happens. And then we react, and 9 times out of 10, if you strong and you have endured some shit in the past, you'll make it through to tell the story.
Yeah.
But it don't got to be like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
I think to have an identity level change, you don't, because a lot of times a lot of us really wait until something drastic happens for us to have
remedy.
You're right. You don't have to wait till it happens, right? you can send this type of podcast out to people right now and they can absorb it, right? Something as simple as this can create an identity level change. Let me tell you why, right? This is how it happened for me. I remember when we saw, for me, I tell you when I knew for a fact I can do online marketing.
Okay.
When I saw Wesley $1 Million Version, remember that?
Yeah.
Wesley is a dude from Houston.
Yeah.
And see, okay, so for me, I just got through telling y'all type of person I am. I just need to see certain shit, right? So my mind doesn't fill in blanks until it sees something. So like Wesley's a person from Houston. He's black, African-American, no different from me, right around the corner, driving up and down 16 and shit, making millions of dollars. So how you hitting the same highway I'm hitting? Yeah. And I can't, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you telling me it's people around me that's the same ethnicity of me, I mean, as I am. They know they not too much older than me. That shit don't even matter anyway. Yeah. And motherfuckers out here getting it like that. Yeah. So sometimes all you need to do is see it. So like, strive to, okay, stumbling back to the beginning of this shit, strive for awareness, because everything you need is right in front of you. It's crazy because once you become aware of that, then you'll start to see it. Yeah. You'll start to see that all of this shit is right before you. The answer to every problem that you got right now is right before you. You probably just don't like Fred, and Fred gonna tell you the answer. But if you just put your pride to the side and just ask Fred probably, I'm just hypothetically speaking, right? Sure. This shit on YouTube.
About Fred.
Right. Or like anybody. You can just, I'm just saying, like, I'm just using Fred as a great figure or whatever. Yeah. But like, you can go to YouTube. You can get the knowledge. The information is out there.
I 100% agree with you because, like you said, the biggest thing I think when we talk about having identity level change is just the idea that, for example, you've seen Wesley $1 Million Version, right? A lot of times our identity is so fixed because we only know what we know from our environment. That's what they call being in an echo chamber.
Man, so that's why I'm so grateful for social media.
Up around certain people, then I'm probably gonna act like those people. As much as we like to think we are independent thinkers, you're probably gonna be like the people that you're around all the time.
It's all you can do.
Yeah. And so I look at it from a standpoint like this. Self-awareness is so important at this point because there's this thing called meta-level awareness. So meta means like knowledge about knowledge.
Right.
Right? So it's like you understand how the brain works, but understanding how the brain works on top of how the brain works
is a whole nother.
It's like a level on top of a level, right?
Right.
So to get to a high level, I think as far as entrepreneur success, we got to develop this meta level awareness because how do we even begin to know that this is something that needs to be changed?
Man, you develop meta level awareness as an artist, as a famous person. You got to start moving different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to start, you have to think about every thought, every action that you do is now on the calendar. It has to be premeditated. Yeah. You got to hire security for every part of all of this shit.
Knowing like that's something you have to do. Like you talked about this before as far as like organization, right? Knowing that you need to be organized. Like organization is one thing, right? People who are successful are organized. Knowing that you specifically need to be organized is another level. Meta level awareness to me is not only knowing you need to organize, but understanding why you have weaknesses in organization in the first place and how you specifically have to overcome it.
Right.
And I think that's the hardest part.
And the exact tools to organize that motherfucker.
And so when I look at a lot of people when it comes to success, the biggest issue I think they face is the fact that they haven't even taken time to develop this meta level awareness. I could tell you some advice on the podcast on how to make money, for example, but how are you going to apply that advice? Because you're going to go out there, you're going to do it, some shit's not going to work. Then you're going to come back and make a long ass video essay talking about, oh, they're scamming. They're scamming because we told you something, you feel like it didn't work. And at the end of the day, you have to become the type of person that the shit will work for. I can give you an idea of how to make some money. I was talking about this today. Who was talking about this? You want to make some money? If you don't have any money, you can go hop on Upwork right now, sell your time for some data entry. You'll make some money.
That's true.
Very simple. You can go on Fiverr. You can go on all these places. You can make money. We can get you making some money. But the problem is when it comes to the higher level concepts, are you going to apply it? Right. Are you going to be like, well, shit, I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to put that type of effort in. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've observed when it comes to all this type of stuff, that most people just don't want to do the things they need to do. They don't want to develop this level of awareness because this level of awareness requires you to think a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more attentive to everything that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
You were talking today, you was like, this got to be on the calendar. But you understand if you don't get it on the calendar, it's probably not going to get done.
That's the only thing. And then like, it's just like, it's important, man. That meta awareness is like, it helps with everything. It helps with business. It helps with relationships. It helps with fucking, I mean, you name it. You know what I'm saying? It's like something that it's just like the,
Well, you just said it, like even with dating, this applies to everything.
Yeah.
Because how you gonna date somebody you don't know shit about yourself?
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
Like how do you do it? What's the steps? Because at the end of the day, I know most relationships I've seen my friends who've gotten married and stuff like that. Most relationships I've seen, the reason they crash and burn was simply because they didn't have themselves figured out.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 years into a relationship, when their true self starts to appear, all of a sudden you got problems.
Right.
And that came from a deficit in self-awareness.
In the Tyler Perry movie, I like Tyler Perry movies because Medea always is extremely funny. Mm-hmm. But she has very profound conclusions that she comes to. She said, you get married. Love ain't something that you come across every time. But she said, when you do, understand that you have to say, I do to multiple people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then the bride-to-be was about, she said, no, I do not understand. And she was like, okay, you guys to understand that the person that you just said I do to will change, no matter what they're talking about, right? Yeah. They're going to change on you. And if you don't understand that, this is, once again, awareness, knowledge. You have to understand this. You said I do to this person. This is why people renew their vows. That's what she was saying. You renew your vows because this is a whole nother motherfucker. What you think a motherfucker was just like, it's time? No, this is another person.
Especially if you marry young.
Right. You marry young. Come on, we was 20. We 50.
You think that's going to be the same person?
Hell no. This motherfucker don't even look the same.
No, that's the truth. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to like coming to the idea of awareness is these are the things that I think that we got to work on as far as just being successful in general. Because I've had periods in my life where when I lacked awareness, I saw how difficult it was for me to get things going. Whether it's become successful in business, whether it becomes successful in life. Because at the end of the day, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think to start developing this, I think the first thing we got to talk about is the 3 states that you need to really think about life from. And we've talked about these before, but I'll go over them again, right? So there's 3 paradigms of thought that most people live in, right? It's called having, doing, and being, right? Most people think about people for what they have. Oh, I have this. I have a car. I have a house. I have a thing, right? And that's how we measure most people, right? You're going to judge people off what they have. A little bit better than that is what people do. Oh, they're an entrepreneur. They're a successful business person. Mm-hmm. But the highest level is who a person is being.
Right.
And the being comes down to basically like morals, integrity, values. Kind of what's the core essence. And if you get the right core essence in place, the rest of the stuff falls in place. As funny as that may sound, I have found this to be true at everything. It's like, okay, let's say you want a really nice car right now. Okay, you want the nice car. But you have to become the type of person who could get that car. You want to run a 7, 8, 9-figure business. Okay, you got to become the type of person who could run that business.
What they said on that YouTube video, in order to change your reality, you have to change your personality.
It's the truth. And I think this is like kind of first step of self-awareness, right? Being able to assess where you're at right now. What are the things you say about yourself? Because we gotta remove, there are people who really fake it till they make it, I guess you could say.
Right.
But I think there's a realness to your personality that other people will connect with. And that's why they say,
detect.
Be real until you remember. It's like you're acting authentically until you remember, like, this is who I always was.
Exactly.
I know anybody watching this, anybody listening to this has had periods in their life where they feel completely free and at ease, talking to friends, talking to family. They just got that feeling about like being able to talk about their ideas and fluently speak. There's an environment you've done that. I don't know if anybody's ever been in an environment where they haven't felt comfortable and they just speak freely and their full personality comes out. That is the personality that people are going to connect with. But that takes self-awareness to know, well, when I'm around this person, I feel a little insecure. Why do you feel insecure? Is it because they have more money than you? You think they look better than you? What is the reason you feel insecure around that person?
Yeah,
that takes a lot of, this is what I think. Some people even lie to themselves.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like, I semi-understand lying to everybody else and shit like that, but don't be out here lying to yourself.
Well, think about it. You'll be
That'd be
sitting
funny.
there.
You catching it. You out here. Why you lying to yourself?
You lying to yourself.
I'm
I'm
not-
saying you'll be sitting here and you'll be around somebody. And most people, this is why I think a lot of people turn to haters too, if I'm being honest with you. A lot of people turn to haters because they can't cope with the fact that this person has more than them because they're in the paradigm of having. If people are valued by what they have, then you're going to always find people you feel inferior to.
Right. That's why that shit crazy. All of the numbers, the money and shit, floop to flop this anyway. So it's like anybody with anything, you have to understand that you can get it too.
Yeah.
That's what that Steve Jobs quote. I don't know if we said that on the last podcast or not.
But it's still good to say it again.
Man, what Steve Jobs said. He said, one day, fuck.
You're going to realize that life can be how do you put it? He said life can be it's a great realization when you realize that everything around you
is made by people.
That you call life is made by people who are no smarter than you.
Right.
That's what he was basically saying.
Absolutely no smarter than you. And you think that people are magical. You think that that for some reason that this person is doing something that you can't do. Yeah. That's why I would imagine most high level people be moving specifically because they just would rather not be around a lot of people all the time because certain conversations are had in certain areas. So it's like, I just rather not.
Well, I mean, we talk about this all the time. You
right.
talk about awareness, and I think this is why you wanted to talk about it so much.
Yep.
In certain environments, you got to always understand how you coming off in that environment, right? So, for example, there's things that I don't do because I already understand what that's going to create in the relationship later. I'll give you a prime example. We was out this weekend, and we was at P10.
Yeah.
Right? And I was gonna ride home with you, but I had my other friends with me.
Yeah. So
I was like, no, I'm just gonna Uber. It's a simple thing. Everybody might be like, oh, that's nothing, whatever, right? But I understand that at some level, even if it's small, you could feel like, oh, he's taking advantage of the relationship. Even if it's the smallest increment.
And it's his B-Day.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But it's just sometimes you got to think about shit like that. And the whole thing is, the reason I think about that is not because I think you would have been super pissed about it.
No, I'm going to the same spot, but it's the thought. It's always the thought that counts.
Yeah.
People see it. It's like when you're not aware, it's tacky.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like when you get punished for not being aware.
It's almost like somebody who can't read the room.
Your coach used to say, you get your dick knocked in the dirt.
Yeah.
Like when you lollygagging on the field, you don't know what plays being ran. You out there just looking around. Somebody gonna come and smack your ass. Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Light your ass up. You should have. What you doing out here? You out here done got caught swimming in that swamp.
Swimming in that swamp. Nah, and that's what I'm thinking as far as like when it comes to people and how they're perceived in certain environments. People do a lot of shit, but they're not even thinking about how that shit is coming off. But I think it's because most people are going to approach the world from that having paradigm, right?
Right. That's a great thing to think about. Like, I know I think to myself a lot about like, if you strip me of everything that a lot of people see me with, you'll see me on Instagram the next day still acting an ass.
Yeah.
Because I was acting an ass before I had any of this shit. And acting an ass means having fun. Yeah. Okay? Acting an ass doesn't mean I act an ass. I have fun. I like to have fun. But
there's a core essence about you. It's the old statement. We need to put that on the board eventually. It ain't what's on you.
Amen.
It's what's in you.
It's so true. And I was saying that before I had anything.
It ain't what's on you.
It hit.
It's what's in you.
It was hitting when I had nothing. Everybody who had something related to that. Everybody who had it that's something that you really gotta think about, man. Like when you really meet him, y'all, he not gonna be worried about what he got on.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that straight up.
I'll give you a simple analogy, right? Anybody watching this, just humor me for a second. You close your eyes real quick and imagine you got $30 million in your bank account right now.
Right now, you can log into that account.
Right? And now you go out anywhere, right? And you got a busted up ass car. You got dirty clothes on. Would you give a fuck? Probably not, because you know you got $20 million in your account.
Right. It's only a matter of time before you go get a new car. It's what your vibe is going to be. So you'll talk to everybody like that.
Yeah.
Anybody tripping with you, you'll just be like,
You got
yo, L.
it.
You looking at what you worried
It's like,
about.
if you're going on a date and somebody laugh at your car, but you got 20 million, you about to go pick up the other car. You're going to be like, oh, okay.
Here's the funny part. You instantly recognize everybody who's in the having paradigm.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, people choose friends off of what they have. People choose relationships based off of what they have. I tell you, don't do that because that shit temporary. I'm telling you now, what niggas got is temporary. And attraction, temporary. All of that, you trying to create something long lasting off of temporary things, and it'll dwindle. I'm just saying, you got to really dig deeper into like what I like to go off of. Me, this is why I strive to go off of what is a person doing.
Yeah. Because
I don't even like to solve problems off of what is happening. I like to see like, okay, what happened? Because then you get to see what somebody done already. You know what I mean? Like, of course, if it's already happening still, you can't really.
Well, I'm saying that's the whole thing as far as the paradigms, right? Right. Because
the paradigms
everything, all this stuff flows from something higher. And that's how I look at it, right? What you do is usually who you believe you are. And that's why I talked about the neurological levels, right? So my thing is, when I look at it, I say this. Okay. I look at a person who's trying to start a business, for example. And somebody would ask me, here's 4 people. Who do you partner with? I got one person here right now. I'm looking at them. Everything looks stable. They look good. They're doing business. But I've never seen them take in a hardship, right? I seen this person right here. They've had a couple hardships and they quit. Of course, that's probably not somebody I want to work with. Then I go over here to this third person. They've had hardship, but every time they keep coming back. Every time they keep coming back, right? You take these people. I said 4, but you take these 3 people. I'm going to want to work with the person who has the hardships and returns. Because at the end of the day, that has something to do with your character, who you're being. You're being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I lost, but that don't mean shit.
Exactly.
The fuck?
And so
y'all gonna stop fucking with me because I lost?
Exactly. And that's a big distinction right there.
The hell?
That you got to talk about. You got to be okay with taking an L. Like, fuck what y'all talking about. It's my L.
Well,
you ain't fucking with me, cool.
I love boxing for the reason of when you lose, you got to eat it.
Yeah.
And it ain't about, like, boxing is, yeah, you trying to win that motherfucker, but a lot of times it's about getting back up out there. That's the livest part about that shit. Nigga got touched on, his face swollen. He got to go to sleep. He got to wake up. And then you see that same man get back in the ring.
A week later.
Come on, he back in the ring. Yeah. That's man shit. You got to commend it. That's just king shit. And it's a great sport to, you know, look at, to see, you know, that type of shit. But
no, I believe, what I believe is this. The biggest thing I've seen as far as why people have a problem with switching paradigms is because, and it's a great thing, right? Even if you're not like a very religious, spiritual person, right? It's really don't have nothing to do with religion. It's the idea of denying the evidence of the senses, right? Mm-hmm. I think we have to have faith in the person that we're gonna be. As weird as it may sound.
No, that's the only thing.
Faith that we're gonna be the person, because
you should keep that picture in your head.
Act as that person today, even though we don't have it in front of us. For example, when I was on the floor of my mom's house, I was broke. I had a bank account that had negative $107.35. I was overdrawn. I owed money at that point. I had absolutely nothing. So for me to get up and say I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur is laughable. That's laughable. That sounds stupid. I'm telling you, at the time when I said it, people laughed because it sounded stupid. But in my mind, I said, I got faith in the person that I'm going to be. I just start being that person at that moment.
Right.
And then eventually the rest of the world caught up with me.
Right.
And I think this is the problem most people have when it comes to success. Who you're being comes down to something that is a mindset. If you're seeing yourself as a millionaire today and you go tell your friends, I'm a millionaire, that's how I feel. They're going to say, no, you're not. Look at your bank account. And you're going to keep getting hypnotized over and over and over again by what you see. And other people are going to start telling you what your value is. Self-awareness comes down to understanding simple things like these nuanced concepts like, okay, I understand in my bank account today,
right,
I don't have this.
But at
the end of the day, the feeling I have about how I go through the world, that has to be because you have faith that you're going to be it in the future.
And understand that when you do receive your payment, the money that you know that you want or whatever, and it actually is in that bank account, the only thing that you will have is a feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
Is there numbers on the screen?
if you think about it, if you can put yourself in that feeling beforehand, it'll speed up the process.
Well, I think, okay, I'll give you a prime example. I'll give y'all something very practical. When I was first going out and I started consulting with people, I would charge a certain amount of money. And the same service I started charging more for. It's the same service, but the thing that changed was who I felt I was in business. My confidence changed. And as my confidence changed, I was willing to ask for more money. But one of the biggest things I understand about sales, because it's more of a psychological game at a certain level. If you got a good product, it's psychologically, that person's going to look at you. I think it was Jordan Belfort in The Way of the Wolf.
Booked it.
He talked about that there's 3 sales you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be sold on your company, your product, and you yourself. So if you got the company, you got the product, what's the last thing they need to be sold on? Which is you.
Right. Yourself.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that. I got this client. She gets paid $100,000 to speak at places like Exxon and Chevron. And she's a great speaker, don't get me wrong. But just like Steve Jobs said, you'll look at certain people and be like, it's not nothing I couldn't do. It's not nothing I couldn't do. So that person has such a high concept of themselves that they are okay with going and tell somebody, cut me $100,000 check to come speak at this shit for 30 minutes.
Yeah, send me that.
And you might be like, I couldn't ask nobody for that. But the whole point is you have to think like that before you're able to ask like
That's
that.
all.
So if you look at your life, you have 100 clients and you were just scared to ask. You only asked for $100 from each client. When you had a service that was worth $5,000.
And
what's going to be the difference in your bank account over that 100 clients for somebody who has more confidence in it?
And I'm just telling you now, when you create your $100 service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people buy that motherfucker, it's gonna fuck your head up. But then what's gonna really fuck your head up is when you create that $5,000 product and the same people that was buying for 100 buy it for 1,000. Not the same product, but just another product. It could be any product. They buy now. They just the same people that was buying $100 product from you now has transferred over to buying the $5,000 product. And you probably didn't even think about it like this. All we're doing is providing value in a bundle. Mm-hmm. And you can, whatever that is, it could be in clothes, it can be in entertainment, it can be in whatever we want it to be, but that's what we're doing.
I mean, I think there's hints to how this shit really works, how the universe works. And the reason I say that is because I look at this. What makes shit cost anything?
Exactly.
It's what somebody made you believe. That's what marketing is. If a celebrity puts on a certain pair of clothing and now everybody pays a lot for that clothing, what changed? The value of that person.
That's it.
People want to be associated with that value. So if you can get into that energy space, people are going to want to pay you. If you go out to a party, right? If you go to a city, nobody knows you and you're just confident, you're charismatic, and you just feel like you're a top level person, that's how people are going to respond to you. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know your history. They don't know your background. They don't know anything about you.
Keep in mind, social media is only 10 years old. It's like a 10-year-old kid. People was maneuvering around here with the energy of superstars way before.
I mean, think about how many influencers we have now.
But I'm thinking about like people like Master P who was moving around the world before you could check up on people on the internet, right?
For sure.
You can walk around in this motherfucker and have the energy of a superstar.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's out the trunk. These CDs are out the trunk. I'm a star. Get it from me. It's in your best interest. It's an energy that you have before you are the star. You know what I'm saying?
People think it's the opposite though.
Yeah.
People think it's, I gotta get something and then become a star. I gotta have something to become a star.
It's a paradigm you must get out of because you don't have to have shit. Mm-hmm. I'll fuck your head up and show you somebody who did it all with none of the shit you think you need.
Exactly.
That's why you should really like fish for more information from people, like hear certain people talk, because sometimes all you need to do is hear somebody say it. You know what I'm saying? You hear them say it, and then like maybe you was doing something you wasn't even aware that people knew that you know, I don't know how to put it, but it's more so like, is it froze?
No, we good.
Okay.
Well, it's gonna freeze, but
they said we was good in the chat.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just, I don't know, it's probably a connection dip or something like that. But you good? What was you saying?
Hey man, stay aware.
Yeah, no. I think that's the biggest thing though, right? And we talk about this because what I've understood is this. It's very simple, right? And if y'all say it froze, we got it, so it should be come right back. But one thing I've learned is this: if we're gonna honestly get to a level of success in anything, we have to start thinking about who we want to be first. There's a great quote I read, and it said, if you ever were given $1 million, best you become a millionaire or you will not get to keep it.
Facts.
If you get $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire unless you won't get to keep it.
Indicating that you could have became a millionaire before you got it.
Yeah. And the reason we watch on a show like this, we like to talk like this because, there's people who are skeptics to this type of content. They'll be like, nah, bro, unless you got it in your bank account. Because they're missing the
That's
concept.
so stupid.
They're missing the concept.
I don't want nobody to tell me what I am anyway. So what I mean by that is I know people form their own dissertations of who you are, but I'm not about to actually listen to it.
That's the key, though.
It's like, what? That would be crazy because what you got to think about is, you can control the people you're listening to now, but what happens when there's millions of them?
Yeah.
You got to think about the final form of yourself so you can, because daily, once you have that picture of yourself in your head, you can just put it in your head. And daily opportunities before you will arise, and then you just got to act as if. And then, anybody who's saying...
You said it.
Right.
Act as if.
Act as if. And anybody who tripping on that gots to go. You know what I mean? That's like the zone. I was explaining man, the zone is a place where even if you tripping, you don't want to, that's why you got to strive to stay in a space where you're not wanting too much, more than you need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I think you want more things because you think that the value comes in what you have, right?
Right.
To me, everything you get should flow from your want, your necessity, what you want. And what you just said was a huge one. And you're going to hear me talk about this so much about having authority over yourself.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what the outside world is talking about. I'm going to care in the sense of business. We watch a podcast. I'm not going to sit here and let the podcast just skip and be frozen and be like, well, fuck it. I'm not concerned with other people. That's silly.
Right. It's unethical to even think like that.
I always tell people it's more the fact that how you live your life and what direction you want your life to go should be your decision.
Yeah.
Nobody has any say on that. There's nobody in my life who has any say on where my life is going. Now, me and you, we partner on things. So if we're coming together on a project, of course, we're going to throw ideas together. We're going to have this portion and stuff like that. But you've decided I'm going this direction in life. This is what I want to accomplish for myself. And because our paths align and we have similar values and morals, that's why we're going to work together. That's why we're going to partner. And I think people miss this. It's always about the conception of yourself. Who do you see yourself as in the future? When I was on the floor of my mom's house, I saw myself as an entrepreneur. I saw myself doing Mama's House to Penthouse. I saw all this. When you see more in the future, just understand, you saw I saw all that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think most people are missing when it comes down to being successful and mastering these type of skills. Your awareness is, okay, I don't think of myself in a certain position, but my goal is to understand that I need to think of myself that way while at the same time taking the actions every day to get there. The things are going to come that you need. We're looking at the beginning. We're looking at the end and saying, well, I need to have $20 million to start a business. Everybody comes to me all the time and they say, well, I can't start my business idea. It's going to take $50,000. And I always go, okay. Because you're not going to have enough money. You've never done a business before. There's going to be a lot of waste there. There's going to be a lot of different things. And I'm not saying you can't do it. What I am saying is you don't need that $50,000 to be an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur the second you decide in your mind and see yourself that way.
Yep.
And a lot of people can't imagine it for themselves. And I think that's the biggest thing.
The people who do are rewarded, though. Yeah. That's what we're trying to say. At some point you gotta understand some of the shit you believe ain't right. You know what I'm saying? All of us, shit, me included. I ain't exempt.
Well, I mean, we got so much. Like the other day, I'm gonna tell you something small, and I really want to speak about this. Other day, Father's Day, I went over there. My nephew was over there, and he was talking about something like $2,000. Oh, we was talking about tickets to an event. And that's $2,000. He said that's so expensive. I said it's not expensive.
Right.
And I know a lot of people might say it is, but I'm saying that's the mindset. Somebody who's
like
that. You may not have the money physically in your pocket, but you can't think of that as a lot of money.
Right.
And the reason you can't do it because you're gonna slowly set in poverty, lack, no abundance,
and then you'll manifest it. So, it'll just it'll
start showing up. The thing about the paradigm
in its way.
When we talk about the 6 neurological levels, the belief layers, what I would say is what you assume. one thing I learned what was so crazy, and this started happening when I did a lot of sales. So you remember that time we was doing cold calls at the green pages?
Yep.
And I remember like the people who would buy from us, I remember, or the people who would talk to me on the phone, I remember what I was thinking beforehand. And I remember what I was thinking for the ones who rejected me.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the times, if I assumed the call was going to go well, even if they didn't buy nothing, the call was
Went well.
Okay.
Like you could follow back up with them.
Yeah, something though. They
would
like,
give you a
I'm
contact
not
point
interested right now or something. It was not like a fuck you, get off the phone.
Because on cold calling, y'all.
Oh, it get real.
Somebody tell you, fuck you. Damn.
Exactly.
Get off my phone. I ain't buying shit.
Pussy.
Like I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. It's like, imagine probably working like, people in the mall that sell things in the middle of it get told no all day.
I respect them.
Right, but at least they don't get told. Much. People wild on the phone because you can't see them.
Yeah.
So man, people tell you everything you cold call. I ain't ask you call me. Yeah. I'm just selling you stuff. I'm just trying to go. Yeah, I only got what you need. That's all. Yeah. My bad.
That's what it is. And I'm saying though, but a lot of times, same thing with in person. If you assume people are going to be bad, you're going to look at people because, and I've talked about this before, reticular activating system. You can look that up with your selective focus. So we know if you see a car, you think about a car, you probably see it everywhere. Same thing. Your mind is going to filter for cues to cement your reality in your head. So if you believe everybody's unfriendly, everybody's against you, your mind is going to find
unfriendly people
why that is true.
Right. And yep, every time an unfriendly situation happens, you'll key in on it.
Smirk on his look on his face.
You won't see nothing else.
I give you a prime example. This happens a lot of time with people who are not used to being social. So somebody might say something to you. Let's say somebody says, nice shirt. If you're in a mindset of thinking everybody's your enemy, you're going to hear it as nice shirt, like sarcastically, as if they're talking down on you, like they're making fun of you, even though it might have been a genuine compliment. And I've seen this with people because of what they believed about themselves. Right. And the hardest thing about talking about success with people or even getting people to be successful is helping them change their concept of themselves. People be like, why success programs work for some people, why somebody watches a piece of content and all of a sudden they're inspired and they start making money is because what the content did was help you change your conception of yourself. Mm-hmm. You start believing it. I don't believe for a second that anybody is not capable of being at the highest level of success. However, I do believe that most people will not because they refuse to change their conception of themselves. They have these assumptions that they're low, they're nothing, they're not worthy, that there's these special people out here that
can
have
do
success
different things.
And they could never be that type of person.
Right. I don't know why, man. Anybody.
I mean, that's what you've been told all your life. That's why I say the same thing with my nephew when he says it's expensive. It's like, as a child, it's little jokes that people make, but it puts that in your mindset. It's like, well, yeah, some people just have it all. That seems so harmless. But what's the assumption of that?
We're not some people.
Exactly. And if you're not some people,
why we can't be some people? That was always what I used to think. Motherfucker be like, they said, where they at then? Yeah. Show me where they at. Or if you go there, they be winning. Why we can't just win over here? Like, why we gotta go? Why do we gotta go over there to win? I don't believe that.
And so what happened?
I don't believe it. I ain't joining the school for the winning team. We can win here. We can win here, bro.
I'm saying because it's our mentality. I have a body just like, what's the difference?
Right. I be trying to figure it out. So, but locking into what we understand now and why we, even on the podcast now, this is what we trying to regurgitate back over to everybody.
No, it's the truth. And that's why I say, I think the biggest thing is with self-awareness is, are you a person who thinks lowly of himself? What are your assumptions? Because at that belief level is very, very key to what type of assumptions. And there's this thing in neurolinguistic programming called presuppositions, right? Which means a statement presupposes a certain state or like a reality or whatever, right? If I just say it right now, hey, what time you running me to the store? In there is an assumption that you're going to take me to the store. Yeah. I've said something where it's like, you could be like, who said I was taking you to the store? Yeah. That would be the proper response because I made an assumption. In life, we have these assumptions. And this is why when I talk to people, I can always understand their beliefs. You don't have to tell me anything. If you say, yeah, man, it's gonna be harder for me, that is an assumption you've made. Yep. Who said? Yeah. And the whole thing is these assumptions are what people are not aware of. And the reason we do a podcast like this is because we're trying to help you develop that meta level awareness where you're saying, okay, let me check my assumptions. It's going to be hard for me to get rich. Why do you believe that? Where did that come from? Who told you that?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not going to be work, but who said it's going to be difficult?
Right. That's true.
I'm not the type of person who can create certain things. I'm not the person who can public speak.
Who said that?
Who says that? Why not? Why is that an assumption? Have you tried?
And then every time, but the thing is, a lot of people not gonna ask you why not,
Yeah.
right? No, yeah, you're right, man. That shit is hard.
Well, I mean,
You know?
I was at the club and I didn't say what it was, but I was talking to a friend of mine. He was like, "Yeah, man, y'all got it, man." This, I said, "You too." I'm like, "You too."
Every time people use that, that's my only response. And y'all got it. What you saying? This shit for us.
It's because
It's all for us.
Because it's like
Even when people used to ask me about, man, I ain't finna talk.
no, it's the truth. It's the victim mentality
Right.
that people got to get out of, because at the end of the day, you're looking for me to, no, it's okay. A lot of people call, or a lot of people talk to me, and they want to try to convince me that their victim reality is real. They want to convince me that there's a specific reason why they can't be successful, whatever it is. They're short, they're black, they're from the wrong neighborhood, they grew up at the wrong time, the market's bad.
Heard it all.
Everything you could think of, trust me, I've heard it.
Gas high.
Everything. And the whole point is there's people succeeding in them same environments that look the same as you, that have the same or similar background as
That's
you.
why I say all you need to do is see somebody. That's why I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it. I have no shame in showing it because I know the type of person I am. All I needed to do was see it. So sometimes all somebody need to do is see it, right? So like you said, man. So all I need to do was see Wesley Million, or somebody in the city making a lot of money, driving up the same highway as me. It's mundane, it's weird, but it's like you think about it, it's like, bro, somebody really around the corner. Like,
What was that James Brown song we was listening to before the podcast started?
damn right I'm somebody.
Damn right I'm somebody. Damn right I'm somebody. You should go listen to this. You should turn this shit on every morning. And I'm going to tell you why. Because at the beginning of the song, he goes around, he asks all his people, he said, "Who are you?"
He said, Cat asked me the other day, he said, you somebody?
You damn right I'm somebody.
Then he asked his other friend, he said, Lee, whoever his name was, Lee John. You
Think about what
somebody?
rap is. Rap is a great example to me of manifestation at its best.
Right.
You'll have somebody who has no houses, no cars, anything, talking about how rich they are.
Right.
How the
And
money,
it
how the money
happened
folds, stuff
every
like that.
time.
And then when it happened, it's just like, damn, Drake said something or whatever. His basic gist of the lyric was like, he kind of used to be stunned, but he got it like that now. Damn, it's on headlines. I know I exaggerated, son. Now I got it like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know I
exactly.
exaggerated things, but I got it like that.
And it's the whole thing is, for me, I think that's the biggest thing. You're not asking other people to join in on your manifestation, I guess you could say. I'm not going.
That's when it fuck up.
You feel like you want to think of yourself as a millionaire and you just want to carry yourself that way. I don't have to say, now, DJ, you have to also think of me that way. It's like, just
Now you don't have to change the way you
carry the feeling, because what's going to happen is that's what most people want. They want somebody else to validate their reality. And think, this is what I'm saying about awareness. How much is done for you to get somebody else to validate your reality, even your close friends? One thing I love about you is, and you big on this, if anybody calls you looking for that validation, you'll be like, bro, what are you fishing for?
Yeah, what's going on?
Like, you him. Why
Right.
you need this? Why you need this?
Yeah.
And that's the type of people you need to be around, people who would just tell you.
My brother used to tell me that shit. I used to come home, I used to do some cool shit. He said, what the fuck, you want a cookie?
Yeah.
What, you want a cookie, nigga? I thought you was gonna do that. What, you struck out everybody in the, like, I used to come home with the baseball facts. Like, yeah, I came home, I threw the ball, like, bro, hey, I mean.
You him.
Right. I thought, that's what I thought. It's like, why you making it weird for me, brother?
And that's the thing I think a lot of people miss when it comes to the self-awareness.
He be
You know, I
like,
think it's the most important
that's
shit.
funny, I'm sorry.
No, it's the truth.
He like, I'm telling people you doing that already. That's what he telling me. I'm like, I'm remembering. He like, I'm telling people you doing this. He like, bro, I already know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that shit make a lot of sense.
It's the truth, though, because I realized one day, I woke up and I realized this.
That shit make a lot of sense.
I said, damn, can't nobody really say anything about who I am.
No, it's in you.
Because here's the thing. Let me ask you, this is simple. Who's the best boxer of all time? Just in your opinion.
I like Mike Tyson.
Okay. If
I
you're in
don't
the
know.
chat, if you're in the chat right now, just drop who's the best boxer of all time in your opinion. And it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. Anybody drop who's the best boxer of all time. Now, I guarantee we probably all gonna have a different opinion about who the best boxer of all time is. And the reason this is very important is because what people say about you is an opinion. If somebody says, oh, I think your speaking sucks, fine, but that's your opinion. It's not going to change my perception of myself.
Right.
And that's the big key I think people miss. If you want to perceive yourself a certain way as a millionaire, you want to see yourself as successful, you want to feel that feeling right now inside your body, do it. You don't have to join anybody in, but I'm telling you, just acting from that state, you're going to start talking to people a different way. You're going to speak a different way. You're going to have a different level of confidence when you walk around. You can go further than that and even deny the senses and stop looking at what you're seeing and getting hypnotized for it and just operate from that state. You're going to have a lot more productivity. You're going to have a lot more happiness. And your general way that you walk around is going to be a lot different. And people are going to start responding to that.
Right.
But what
Subconscious.
most people do is when they start doing that, they're going to start looking for somebody to tell them, yeah,
that it look right.
exactly.
You like
put
this?
Ali. Now, a lot of people say Ali. I think Mayweather. Now, we all got a different opinion. Who's the best? It's just our opinion. And the same thing people think about you is just their opinion.
Right. That's why. Yeah. That's true.
It's just like, oh, well, you're not the best. Who? Fuck you.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's why when people go to the extent of telling me what I like, even compliments about my outfit, I don't take personally. And understand what I'm saying? Because even when somebody come and be like, bro, them jeans jaggy or them shoes a little fucked up, I don't care, brother.
Yeah.
I ain't asked you nothing.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, I ain't asked none of y'all none of that. I appreciated the compliment, but I ain't none of this shit matter. I can pull up in the Balenci's.
Yeah.
We can put some diamonds on the front end of them bitches. I'll hull them hoes out too. And cause it ain't what's on you, it's what's in you.
And that's the key. That's the key right there. If y'all can just really understand what that is saying. All my life, I remember looking for that validation. Because like I said, I had an older brother. I remember looking for validation so much. And I remember the first time I really broke that was when I dropped out of college and I started my own business. And I had no validation after getting it from so much.
Right.
See, there's a problem with being good at shit. People who are not good at shit, they don't get that much validation. They don't understand the level up they have because they never had it. They never had validation. But when you always getting praised for how good you are and how great you are, and then it's stripped from you, it causes a mental crisis.
Right.
Because now it's like, damn, everybody's not telling me I'm great. Everybody's not telling me I'm good.
And then what that creates after that is it creates a person who doesn't strive for that shit anymore.
Exactly.
Right? So like if you was once deemed the best sports player and you don't play sports no more, you gotta eat that. But then the best type of people emerge.
Yeah.
Cause fuck the sport.
Yeah.
Fuck that sport. Motherfuck that sport. That sport ain't got nothing to do with how great I am. I was gonna thrive in the sport if y'all would have let me.
Exactly.
But if I can't play the sport, I'm gonna play another sport.
That's the type of energy.
Hell.
That right there is the type of energy. And I think that's what, and every time I talk to somebody, that's what I'm trying to get people to see. I'm trying to get people to see that. It's not me. It's not you. It's all of us have it.
Right.
But a lot of us don't want to unlock it because we're so scared and we're letting everybody else hand us our value. Oh, you're not shit because of this. You come from this side of town. Have you ever, I always fuck with people when I watch content on YouTube or anywhere, and that person, even if I don't agree, but that person is just so in their reality that they believe that shit. And that's why they got a following and people fuck with them because they believe that shit. And that's really the difference. That's been the biggest difference between how much money I've made and how much money I've not made. That's been the difference as far as my relationships, how good the relationships are, how bad the relationships are. It all came down to who I believed I was. When I believed, oh, well, you know, I'm just somebody in the background, I was a background person. When I believed I was a leader, I became a leader. And everything you watch, when you see somebody come from nothing and it's inspiring, realize that person is just a person who believes that they would always become that person.
That's it.
And those things tend to become fact.
And then do you wonder why celebrities fuck with celebrities, right? It's like this is another person who believed in themselves, so their lifestyle probably gonna relate. You know what I'm saying? And then you can connect. It's like you have things in common. It's like that's something that, like when you think about it, the thought process of yourself, it makes you very attractive.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about how you think about yourself because then it'll come off as very conceited. Yeah. But you can take actions daily on how you know what I mean? Like
it's like getting into that feeling, like you said it. You said
this is why I always will work out. It ain't got nothing to do with looking good no more. Yeah. It's all about how I feel. Yourself, right.
You feel good when you work out.
Yes.
And that's what I think most
and the
people
result
think.
of it is looking good.
I think that's what most people think. They think that because I know a lot of people who feel like they need a villain or they need somebody to doubt them, right? And that's fine. If you need that in the beginning, use it. I'm not whatever motivating you in the beginning, but I always tell people in the long run, what's gonna happen is that's not gonna be strong enough to get you to the higher levels because once you beat that person, then you gotta find a new villain. You always gotta find another person, and it's always dependent on another person. A lot of people think if I'm already seeing myself as valuable, what's my motivation to work? Then you get to a higher paradigm, which is creation. And see, I've always said this, that in life, you shouldn't be looking for creations. You should be looking for the creator, the type of person that can create the things you want. If I asked anybody right now, what is better? Me giving you $1 million right now, or I give you the ability to create anything you'd ever want. Right. Which one would be better?
I'm taking the ability.
Because you just create the million.
Right, from the ability.
You create the billion. You become the type of person. And most people don't have the awareness to understand the thing that's stopping you from becoming that type of person is what you believe about yourself.
Right. Like I'm thinking about how you could probably install a chip into somebody, and every time they think about what they want to do, they close their eyes, and then the whole map of like what apps they need to download in order to organize that whole what websites to go to outsource to people. Where to go to get the money to fund all of this shit. Imagine if you just close your eyes, you see all of that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the hardest part.
I'm taking ability.
No, I'm saying I think that's why a lot of people don't do it though. Because they are so scared of they like, I need to know it all, and you don't.
Yep. Bob Proctor, R.I.P. Bob. Bob said the livest thing about the mind is like when you close your eyes, you can clearly see how if you think about it long enough, you can clearly see how you got up to the point that you are in today, like the very seat you sitting in. You can start from 2 hours ago, you can go back from 2 years ago, you can go 3 years, so on and so forth. But he said when you close your eyes and you think about the future, it's a gap, and all you can see is the end of it, right? Yeah. And you can't connect the dots. And he said what happens naturally to the mind is that it starts to trip. It's like, oh shit.
Or the malfunction.
If that house gets the malfunction, it's like you're in there like, well, I can't see shit. I don't know what to do. Where do I go? Where do I go? Left, right, turn back. So you just go back to where you can see shit, right? Yeah. So your mind goes back to what it knows. But if you instill a little bit of that faith in there, then you understand, like, you just focus on the picture. Whatever the picture is, it can be whatever it is, you focus on the picture and then notice that opportunities will start to arise before you. And then now you're aware. Now you can see. Now you like, okay, yeah, now here go an op right here. And it ain't nobody that's trying to harm you. It's an opportunity for you to get to the end goal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just that whole funnel. That's a new angle?
Nah, that was the camera.
Man, we big angle.
Big angle.
Big angle.
It's just because it's freezing. I know they're going to be like, damn, it's froze.
Hey, y'all tap in. Make sure you tune
like
in.
This video, y'all send this out to people and stuff like that, because I think this is some stuff they really need to know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, to your point, though, it's gonna come back. It's going to come back. Yeah, it's coming back right now. But to your point, though, right? I think that's the biggest thing I've always tried to explain to people when I first started mentoring somebody, or I first started talking about them to them. I don't focus on like what they know or their knowledge base, because I understand I can teach you that easy. We got all kind of tools to help somebody organize their business like that, right?
Right.
But are you gonna be too scared to implement the shit?
Right. What type of person are you? Yeah.
Like, that's what it really comes down to, and I think that's what I've really just been focusing on. That's what's been really heavy on my mind, is that I can't do anything if I can't change how you think about yourself.
That's it.
I can't help you be a millionaire if you just don't think it's you.
And because you know what that'll do to you? Slow you down.
It's the truth. And I think that's why I think self-awareness is such a big thing that we talk about when it comes to success. We talk about this all the time.
You got to know you.
You got to.
Because you're going to end up in places that the final form of yourself won't be. Mm-hmm. So you got to keep
that's why we go those neurological levels. That's what I'm saying. Like, once your beliefs change, everything. It's an old statement. when you change the things you think about change.
Yep.
It's the truth.
We laugh and joke about it all the time. Final Form DJ wouldn't do that. Final Form P wouldn't do that. Think about that. It's like a movie and a game for us. It's like,
but just like you said, man, you got to think about the end, but the mind starts to trip, and a lot of people don't
do that.
They don't have they're mentally lazy, so they're not gonna sit there every day and live in that end state.
Yeah,
you gotta.
That's hard.
Every day I wake up, ever since I was at the house, at my mom's house, I just woke up and I lived as if I was in the state I am now. Yeah. And then I see myself even further in the future. And I live in that state constantly. And then I see everything starting to conform to that reality. I see everything starting to fall in place. And I think that's where a lot of people will not live because they need to see something. Yeah. Logically, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for somebody at the time I dropped out of college to drop out and be doing it as good as I'm doing right now.
Right.
It makes no sense to somebody to say, well, I'm starting off sleeping on the floor. I'm going to build this business and be talking to 6-figure businesses, talking to like influencers, celebrities, having all these type of people wanting to work with you. It makes no sense. I don't have the traditional education. I don't have the things that you would think would make you successful. So it makes no sense. My whole journey right now makes no sense. It makes sense looking back, but it made no sense at the time. Everybody said, this will not work. This is stupid. This is dumb. And why are you doing this?
Right. Don't listen to that because then it's going to solidify. That's why a lot of people say don't talk about your dreams. When you first start dreaming and you first start like getting these new profound ideas, no matter where they come from, you naturally going to want to talk about it. So like, don't just understand that everybody not going to give you the same energy. So if you understand it when you're talking to people, you understand, okay, somebody tell you, man, that ain't going to work. Oh, okay. All right, you just one of the people who not going to, also.
That not taking other people's opinion about you.
Right. Like, all right, this person, that's just how they feel. Yeah. That's cool. Maybe I just shouldn't talk to this person about that anymore. And those are the conclusions that you come to. And then you should just strive to get around people who do help you believe that you can, right? So, like, one of the reasons why I really love social media right now is because you don't even really got to get around the person. You could just have the motherfucker playing in the background.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like I want to put out more and more content talking because if you just hear somebody like you talking and they doing good for themselves and, they, whatever, all you need to do is see it, hear it sometimes, and that's really all it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's the truth. And that's why I say it's all about the reprogramming your mind. And the reason I bring up meta level awareness, I want y'all to really catch this. There's this book that I read a long time ago called Social.
Booked it.
And it's talked about the medial prefrontal cortex. I'm going to give y'all some game real quick. So the medial prefrontal cortex, basically, it absorbs certain things. What it'll do, after that has been in your mind so long, you're going to automatically start spewing that out or talking about that later. You're not even going to know. It's going to be subconscious. So everything you watch, everything you hear, everything you read, if you start listening to it, it will start reappearing.
You know that the way the brain is formed is like the lines in it, the creases. They say that like when you get a new thought.
Yeah, new creases.
What's that? What's that word that you just said?
What?
It was like I don't know.
The medial prefrontal.
Yeah, I would imagine that's like the thing that's graving. Look, what something's hitting your brain.
The things that's making it. Yeah.
Your thought is revisiting your brain, right?
I'm not,
and it's gonna grave it in there.
I'm not an expert on it, but
bro, that gotta be how it's going. I ain't no expert neither.
Because here's the thing. Because what they were basically saying is, okay, let's say you listen to bullshit every day.
Right.
No matter what, no matter how strong-minded you are, you'll slowly start to embed that into your thought process.
Yes, absolutely.
And so if you're around negative people and they're negative all the time, you're going to slowly start embedding negative thoughts into your thought process. It's just how it goes. Now, understanding this is what I'm talking about, meta-level awareness. If you know your brain functions like this, instead of trying to, I'm just going to have willpower and overcome it, why don't you just continue feeding your mind with the type of content that's going to start changing the conception? If you got a vision of the conception of yourself, you say, well, I'm only going to put content in my head that conforms to that conception of myself.
Right. And you don't have to 86 the other music, right? You just understand what it's for. So, right, when you listening to it, you listening to it at certain times. So, right, when you're working out,
it's like
you
a mental
partying.
diet, though.
Right. You need
just like you go to the gym,
right?
You need to go to the mental gym. And if you're mentally in shape, I feel like you can go and listen to this music because it's not a big deal because you're so mentally in shape.
Right.
Your brain kind of like, this is this.
Yeah.
And so
It's looking for something else. It's looking for the beat or something.
If you're watching all this like political shit is very toxic and it will draw you in, arguing, and this side has to be right and this side has to be wrong. You'll get caught up in that shit. But while you caught up in that shit, arguing about which political party should be doing and what they should be doing, what are you not doing?
Making no money.
You're not becoming the person that you really want to be. The whole thing is, I look at this, and this is probably the biggest trap that I've seen when it comes to success. We believe that arguing about shit is actually making a difference.
Hell no.
If you want to make a difference and you built yourself up to a certain level, that's where you can create some impact.
R.I.P. Money Making Mitch. Fuck, you want a cookie?
Exactly.
What you want? You want an argument now? What you want a cookie? Who you gonna tell?
They need to be doing what?
Hell, you wasn't even in an organized debate. You ain't even with the school in them.
You ain't with the school in them.
You out here just talking and shit.
I should have been a lawyer because I like to argue.
You sure should have. All that good ass debating you just did, and you won it.
To prove what?
We ain't have.
You right, now what? And that's why I think the biggest thing I look at when all of success, it's so many situations you caught up that absolutely mean nothing. And you got to have the awareness to understand, is this shit useful? Right. I don't want you to become one of these drones who's like, everything has to be useful. But what I'm saying is, if you got enough awareness, you can kind of understand. I found myself sometimes when I start drifting and I start watching a certain type of content, I'll notice this about myself. If I'm not feeling particularly well, I'm not talking about sick, but like just my mental state, I'll just notice the type of content I start clicking on. It starts to be a lot more low energy type shit. But when I'm in a certain state, that type of stuff, it's almost like I don't even see it. I just pass that shit right up. And I try to stay in that state more often than not. But when I'm in that state, I'm in a creative state. The best things get created. The best ideas come to me. The best inspirations come to me. And that's what I want for everybody listening, everybody watching is like, what can we do to constantly be in the best? We need to be aware that we're slipping. We're starting to watch negative shit. We're starting to seek out negative environments. Those are the things we have to reverse because at that point, you're seeing yourself as that past person. Right. That's all I think. I don't do certain shit, not because, I'm trying to be perfect. It's just like, that's a past person to me. Right. That's what that person does.
And shit in the past, gotta stay in the past. You can't be fucking with that past shit. You gotta have a cold heart. And for the past, and not everything in the past, because some shit you can pick up, you know what I'm saying? And time is the best trash can, too.
Time is the best trash.
Best that goddamn trash can. Filter out all that bullshit. But I'm saying, head in the game.
For sure.
What time?
Yeah, we've been on here for a minute.
No, what? I thought I could go up on the comments.
Yeah, you should be able to.
That's
a little scroll wheel on the right there.
Okay, I thought somebody had said something that
No, they on here. I can actually see them right here too.
I love the pop-ups. I love the at the beginning how we shouted out all of the new subscribers.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to do that. Now, if you subscribe, you're gonna be on the subscriber list. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you send this out. Make sure you like this one. I think this is a good episode. We went in depth on a lot of stuff, and I know you wanted to talk about this one because I think this is something a lot of people have trouble with. A lot of people struggle with is having enough self-awareness. And I guarantee if you solve this one problem, it'll change every aspect of your life. This is not an exaggeration. This is the one thing that changed everything. Once I start getting that meta level awareness about how my thoughts and how the things I entertained were consciously showing back. I remember I used to just indoctrinate myself. I just put positivity on. I'd wake up every morning, mental diet. I listen to certain videos, things of that nature, because I understand those are the thoughts I wanted to have. Those are the ways I wanted to think about myself. I still go to the club. I mean, we work in the clubs. I hear all the other music, all this shit, push, like all that shit. But at the same time, I understand that's like, for me, eating a meal once in a while that's not the most healthy.
Right. Because you still like barbecue, goddamn.
Yeah. So it's
Ain't
not
wrong with
I don't want you to think you got to become a monk.
Right.
You never listen to some shit. But what I am saying is 85% of your time toxic shit that you listen to?
It has to go for sure, right? Yeah. Like, damn.
But I mean, if it's 20%, I mean, okay.
Right. To keep you balanced in there. Yeah.
We all see some shit, some shit on Instagram where it's like funny, it's a little bit,
right.
And we laugh at it. I get it. What I am saying is that's not gonna consume my entire day.
You can't let it because it'll definitely sway your mood.
Yeah. So
You driving a car, listening to Chief Keef, you're gonna be driving fast,
exactly, because you know what I'm saying.
riding in the
Catch your
motherfucking
man,
roll.
you know what I'm saying. Better get that shit in blood. Yeah, I'm in the club listening. Yeah. Well, and if these motherfuckers want to kill me, why the fuck is I ain't dead yet? Like,
Yeah, you get that.
Singing it in the club too.
If I'm working out, I need that aggression.
Come on, son. Hitting push-ups to that shit. I get it. But at the same time, I also realize that shouldn't be 90% of your content, because that's what you're going to be on. You're going to be thinking like that.
Well, once again, the opportunities will present themselves to you. And then you'll probably just take them because it's what you own.
I mean, shit,
So,
you listen to this type of content, though, you already step in the right direction.
well, the opportunities will then present themselves to you. It's like, I feel like it all starts in the head for sure. So it's like, once you hear somebody say something, you do definitely replay it. Yeah. Music is powerful. So there's things that's why it's most advantageous for us as artists to rap about what's
like how you said
currently happening.
Artists.
You know what I'm saying?
Us as artists.
Yeah, because I'm in there.
No, but hold on. I know you think I'm being funny.
Yeah.
I really want to focus on that.
Right, because they don't know what I'm doing.
Last week you said I'm
gonna be
the biggest artist.
Right.
Booked artist with no songs.
With no songs. I'm Uber.
And right now you said us artists.
Right.
It's not a small distinction, y'all. Don't think I'm weird. I'm saying, but it's that automatically was said because of the way you think of yourself.
Absolutely.
Your conception of yourself.
I'm thinking like that now. I'm thinking that the bodies of work that we about to put out for Cowboyy Radio will be more impactful.
Yeah,
than
we found them where them cameras went to, y'all.
Right.
We don't talk. We may talk about that another time.
We will. Yeah, you know where we at with it, man.
But yeah, I guess I said we didn't win. How long we been on here?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10. So we got another
hour.
I ain't know, man. Shit. Start getting hungry.
My face hurt.
Yeah, my face hurt. You want to give me your final thoughts?
Hey, man. I would say my final thoughts from the Pent today is to make sure that you strive to be aware. Awareness is just like coming to the conclusion that, all right, we in this bitch, right? Like we here. And we need to be sharp. If we playing basketball, if we playing golf, if I'm supporting my brother in the moment, if whatever I'm at, I need to be sharp as I possibly can be. And awareness of that can allow you to, just awareness in general can allow you to be as sharp as you possibly can. Forethought to all situations, definitely can, we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but adding that into, you know what I'm saying, what we were just talking about.
Having some forethought.
Just adding some forethought in general.
Think a little bit. I mean, I talked about it a little bit when we talked about going to the club and shit, like thinking about how that type of shit. Just being aware of your surroundings.
And understanding that, man, come on, man. This might not be the best surrounding for me, but in essence, it's just really being aware. So that way, like success, the opportunities for success are always in front of you. Like there's people who know what to do before you. There's videos that you can watch. There's stuff on the computer, but just becoming aware of that and then actually doing what it takes to push that shit forward is what's really necessary. Sure. My final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, when it comes to awareness, just think about developing that meta level awareness. So basically, think about what are you consciously doing in order to cultivate your mind in the right direction. Begin seeing yourself how you want to be. Don't worry about the fake it till you make it and shit like that. You don't have to tell anybody about this shit. You could have the most outrageous dream ever, but you got to feel as if you're that person right now. And then live in that state of mind as much as possible. Right. It may sound crazy, but it's literally what successful people do. That's what the rappers do when they're rapping about certain things that they may not have yet. They're just living in that reality now. So when it comes, all of a sudden, bam, they're there. So the thing is, with you, the self-awareness comes down to look at yourself. Ask yourself, what assumptions, what beliefs, what is my personality? What do I believe my identity is? And does that identity align with the person I want to be? And then start shifting it to be more in alignment with what you want. And if you can do that, I promise you'll be able to really conquer any challenge you want. Because now you'll have that meta level awareness. You'll have that self-awareness. Understand you can improve, become better, and where you can take things to the level you really want to be. That's really why we hit Mama's House to Penthouse. Put that sauce, so it's not what's on you. It's what.
Sauce where it costs.
Anything you want to say before we get out of here, D?
Man, you know, check me out, Country Cowboy, my website, 2 Y's at the end. Make sure you watch the Who is Country Cowboy movie. If you was fucking with what we was doing today, as far as the podcast, we put these podcasts together to make sure that the knowledge that we have is provided for the people. You know what I'm saying? We theatrical, we gonna curse, we gonna joke.
Smooth episode today too.
Hell yeah, keep it smooth. I told people, y'all send these videos out if y'all want to see what consistency look like. But I'm just tap in with me, man. You know, countrycowboy.com. You can go over there. You can get the DIY credit program booklet. You can get the fitness booklet. You need to get the credit booklet. I was watching Cutthroat City, and the guys out there in the movie, they ended up having to rob a casino because funds was low. And I was saying, man, damn, this movie wouldn't even be made if they knew that they could just go fix their credit.
Damn.
Somebody would have gave them that money. They ain't had to do all
awareness.
that. They could have just bought $100 that have saved them all that shit. They ain't had to steal all that money. They just hustled up 100, bought the DIY credit program book, and then just fixed.
Why don't they do that, D?
Well, no, it makes a good movie, I think. Wait, I don't know.
Why they don't be getting the credit book?
We don't know.
Why don't they fix
our friends on this podcast won't send it out because I be asking so aggressively. They be like, I don't like the way he asking. But I
ain't sending nothing.
Yeah, but if I ask nicely, they still ain't gonna send it. But I just want you to know, you the problem. We doing everything that we can. I feel I'm gonna go to sleep. We set our time aside to talk about
my credit high.
It's why my big credit good, and I ain't talking about the one on the books. I'm talking about these.
Yeah, I already know.
You know what I'm saying. But make sure that you tap in, man, because that credit will save you. It'll even get you ready for business credit. You have to talk to my boy P. Hicks about that one though. Ooh. But look, listen. After the credit booklet, the fitness booklet is available. The influencer is available too. Fitness is just what you need. You got to get the fitness booklet before you know what we're going to have.
Health, wealth, relationships, man.
Hey, man, we're going to have subscription-based food, neighborhood cafeterias, all of that good jazz. So that way the food that you need to be close to you. And even when I'm in the city, I ain't got no time to be thinking about food. I get so mad thinking about food, y'all. It's fucking an episode.
Man,
you should see it.
You and me both.
I just want food to be ready. I don't goddamn.
You solve that problem for me, I'm going to pay you.
That's all I'm gonna do.
A lot.
I just want the food to be ready. I don't even want to think about it. And of course, the influencer. Make sure you grab the influencer. 17 Immutable Laws of Influence. The laws you need to understand how to be an influential person. This ain't got nothing to do with social media.
Wait, hold on.
The 17 Immutable Laws of Influence. I'm telling you right now, for real though, this ain't got nothing to do with being a social media celebrity. You can do that with these laws, but it's more so about understanding the laws and the principles about, influence in general. When you do embody these laws, your Instagram page is gonna blow up though. I'm just telling you straight up.
People gonna fuck with you though.
Yeah,
like, you gonna build that deep connection.
But that's what you essentially want. You know, you want people to come to your page and fuck with you. We were talking about the influencer.
You should get it. CanIBeFamous.com.
Grab it right now. Get it ASAP.
It's all on your site though, right? CountryCowboy.com.
Country Cowboy right now. Go get it.
2 Y's. We
2
made
Y's.
it simple. Man made it so simple. I don't know why people don't grab it.
Cowboy Radio coming soon too.
Don't sleep on that.
Cowboy Radio coming soon. All of my listeners who have businesses, who want to get ad placements, you need to tap in. You need to continue watching. You need to tell people about our ad placements because they will be coming. You'll even be able to place ads on Mama's House or Penthouse. And this is huge because we have a lot of people who just fuck with the brand and people who really just want to support us in general. Half of the time, I know my understanding of this is like I give money to people I like. I just want to see them keep winning. So if you want to see us keep winning, fuck with us on one of them ad spots, no cap.
For sure. Bet. So Prinston Hicks on everything. PRINSTONHICKS. Go to that website. I got a couple things on there that might help you.
No, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Massive Action Biz.
You gotta go to the website.
Business. So basically that's just a course. In 2 hours, it's gonna teach you the fundamentals you need to get started in business. I didn't say you're going to be successful in 2 hours. Damn it. 2 hours, you're going to get everything you need. You're going to feel like, oh, I know what to do. And then you can start filling in. See, remember we talking about your awareness and manifesting? You can start filling in the gaps.
Right.
Help you fill in the gaps. This is the universe talking to you right now. It's like, go get it.
You need it though, because
fill in the gaps.
Fill in the gaps.
Fill in the gaps.
It's dark up there when you don't know.
I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know nothing about systems. I don't know about process. I don't know about marketing. I don't know about brand storytelling. I don't know about leadership. I don't know about management. I don't know about automation. I don't know about systemization. I don't know how to maximize. I don't know how to run ads.
And you watching this now. You ain't watched it all the way to the end for nothing.
Go get this stuff we talking about. So Massive Action Biz, $7. I'm putting out a bunch of courses like that to try to make it more accessible to more people. But if you want to step up a little bit more than that, go to get How to Start a Business in 30 Days. Literally, howtostartabusinessin30days.com. And what you can do on there is learn 50 plus videos, not just from me, but learn from other successful people that built businesses. See how you can build a business too. It goes through everything from storytelling, brand building, systemization, processes, how to manage teams, how to manage partnerships. It goes through everything about how to basically structure your business. It comes with a workbook that you can actually fill out and follow along so you can have it in your possession to make sure you can really go up with this shit. How to Start a Business in 30 Days. Check it out. Also, we're about to be launching a product called the Massive Action Mentorship. Huge program, which is basically going to get your entire life together. We're literally going to hold you by the hand, coach you through everything, your personal life, your destiny, finding your destiny in life, take you through all your business processes. Teach you how to do that, really step by step you everything, and give you the best possible chance to succeed. We're going to talk about lead generation, lead conversion, lead retention, how you make money. We're going to teach you about business models, everything you could possibly think about in business. Mm-hmm. It is literally everything that we have learned about business. We're going to be mentoring people and showing them exactly how to do that. So if you're interested in that right now, you can email us at support@thecentiverse.com if you want to get into the first iteration of that. Or, like I said, you can see it when it comes. You can wait till it comes out. I wouldn't wait till it comes out.
I don't know. You always should get in first.
Opportunity to get it at a lower rate if you get in. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm just saying.
They're gonna wait. They're gonna wait.
They're gonna wait.
They're gonna wait till they go up and then ask, can I get a discount?
Oh yeah, can I? Well, can we? Nah, I told you.
I asked. I begged.
But this thing here is I'm really proud of it. We put a lot of work into it, but it's basically everything. Like we go through the wheel of life. We go through finding your strengths, your weaknesses. We talk to you about as far as what are the things you can do in order to be successful. And it's going to be very targeted with exercises to help you get through it. Because one of the big things I know is these exercises and having somebody coach you through this shit is going to get you to where you want to be. And that's basically the biggest thing about Massive Action Mentorship. That's why I'm putting it together, because I wanted something a little bit more potent.
You literally can save 10 to 20 years in your life.
Oh, you will, for sure. That's something I guarantee. This shit will reduce the time it's going to take to be successful. So go check that out. Massive Action Biz, if you just want to get your feet wet real quick, go check out How to Start a Business in 30 Days if you want to take it to the next level. But if you want to get this shit done as quickly as possible, check us out at Massive Action Mentorship. And then after you get to a certain level, we can even talk about the Ultimate Business Blueprint. But I'm going to save that.
Come on, man.
We do that with big companies, you know.
You step in, organize the whole bad boy.
Whole thing for you. It's just a done for you business, but that's a little bit of a premium thing.
The only thing you have to do is PTI.
Come on, pay the invoice.
Pay the invoice.
But besides that, I want to appreciate y'all today. D, I want to appreciate you for always doing such a great show.
We in the bag. Mama's House to Penthouse. Y'all know this.
And make sure
4 years in a row.
Tune in Wednesday, because you know we back again. We're going to have a guest on here. So tune in, because we got a lot more to show you and a lot more for you.
Yiddy.
From nothing. Started from the bottom. I see it with a clear eye. So I hustle.
Mama's house to Penthouse. Yeah.